Rob Dibble Show. We are live from Travelers Championship, River Highlands, and
you
Cromwell.
don't go anywhere, Mr. Tom Landers. All right, so this is what's going on, Dibs. I just saw Whitmer. He's texting me about Joe Highsmith. So our man, Mr. Whitmer, as I like to call him.
Is he giving us the Heisman right now?
He's not giving us the Heisman.
Okay.
He's giving us the lunch. He's got to go eat something real quick because he just finished his round. Hold on, Rob saw baby.
Our boss.
Hold on, Rob
with
saw
her grandchild.
Baby. So Highsmith is on his way, just finished 18, so he's wrapping things up. So we were going to do Who You Got, but now we got to kind of stall for Joe Highsmith to come through. And as we stall, from Golfing Magazine, Tom Landers in the house. Tom, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good, guys. How you guys doing?
We're doing good.
Who are you following today?
I followed Scheffler for a little bit, and then wanted to catch a little bit of Victor Aberg and Keegan Bradley.
And you're one of our consistent golfing buddies when we're doing different events and things like that. But how does the wind factor in today? Did it seem to bother some of the guys?
After Scotty was done, I got a chance to talk to him for a few seconds, and we asked him about the wind, and he said, days like today, you just play different shots. Normally on a day that's, it's not windy, you can pick your trajectory, your lines. Where today with the wind, you're really not hitting full shots. You're hitting half shots, three-quarter shots, and you're picking levels you want the ball to fly based on the wind that you're playing in.
This course, man, is beautiful for the shape that it's in and for like the rain that we have gotten the last couple of days, and then this wind. I mean, I know you're out here all the time, but it seems like these guys just love being here. I don't know if it's the sight lines, the condition of the course, the practice facilities, but what do you hear from the pros and the caddies and the people when they talk about TPC River Highlands?
Well, I think the practice facility is probably the best practice facility they play all year long, and the caddies here get taken care of so well that the players appreciate that. And I think the course itself, the greens just roll as pure as can be, and they're coming off a U.S. Open where most people saw the U.S. Open last week. They were just beat up for 4 days.
I don't want to play that.
And they come here and they can let their hair down and play a little bit, and they can get the ball in the rough, and they can still get on the greens. The wind today is going to make it a little different, but they're still, shooting 4 or 5 under par to get, chase the leaders.
Yeah, Morikawa and Schauffele yesterday were like, we'd rather have the wind than the rain. And I kind of I think that's probably, these guys don't want to be wet and cold and, some of the shots, like you saw the standing water last week, the U.S. Open and stuff like that. It's gorgeous out here. Sun's out. Yeah, it's a little bit windy, but I think these guys love it. We thought it was going to be maybe 30 under that wins this tournament. Right now, we're tied at 9 under at the top after 2 days.
Yeah, I think we're going to lose the wind tomorrow. It gets a little warmer, and to be more consistent. So I'm guessing 17, 18 under is going to win. Someone's going to go 5 under both days.
Okay, I'm gonna hold you down to that. Tom Landers says 17, 18 under. Well, thank you for filling some time, my man. Are you picking Joe Highsmith to do good in this tournament? Tom Landers from Golfing Magazine.
I hope you can follow in my footsteps.
I'll take that as a yes. Excellent. Come on, sit down with us, Mr. Joe Highsmith.
Thank you, sir.
Congratulations on a pretty good first couple of days here, man, at TPC River Highlands. But everybody,
thank you.
We've all been talking about the wind, and we all want to know how you pros feel about it. What has the wind been like for you today in the last really couple of days?
Yeah, I mean, we had next to nothing yesterday for the most part. I was one of the first couple groups out, and I mean, the course is very easy when it's windless and pretty soft, all things considered. And it's an absolute complete different course today. It was so hard to judge, and it's kind of up and down and swirling all over the place. And the course was very hard today. I mean, I feel like I played 10 times better, and I think I shot 1 shot higher today. So it's pretty tough out there. I saw Rory's over par. You don't see that too often, and some higher scores today. So it was a pretty good test.
So I think you're tied for 16th right now, and you're in the top 20. After 2 days, is there a routine you get into going into the third day? I mean, a lot of these guys, they come back out, go to the driving range, go and putt a little bit more. What do you do after a round like today?
Yeah, I won't really do any. I don't ever really practice after a round unless I was really struggling with something, but I've kind of gone back to a similar approach I was using when I was playing some good golf earlier this year, and it's pretty much just totally a mental thing where it's when it's time to hit the ball, you got to be clear and you got to be committed, and that's all I'm trying to do. So there's nothing I'm really going to find on the practice tee, and it's kind of just a matter of trying to stay in the right state of mind and keep doing the same thing.
We're talking to Joe Highsmith. Now, take us back to 2017 when you win the Washington Amateur. Like, it feels like that was kind of a coming out party for you in your golf game. But what, were you like 17, 18 years old at that time? Like, what was that like to win that tournament and to kind of realize, yeah, I'm pretty good, man. I can hang with anybody.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that summer, obviously, that tournament was great. You know, stepping out of the kind of the junior ranks and going to a state amateur was a pretty big deal at the time. And then I'd also had a really good year on like the AJGA tour, which was like kind of like the PGA Tour of junior golf, if you will. And I made like the junior President's Cup team that year, and that was kind of probably the first point in my life where I was like really felt like I could. You know, I wanted to definitely pursue this for a living. I remember there was nothing cooler than like hanging out on the range and getting to be inside the ropes with some of the guys, and that was a really cool experience. And you know, even at that age, I felt like that was for sure what I wanted to pursue.
What was it like to win a tournament, to qualify for another tournament like Travelers, $20 million purse, things like that? So for a pro golfer, winning tournaments is what you do for a living. What was that like?
Yeah, it was incredible. I mean, getting into, you know, tournaments like this, all the signatures and obviously the Masters and some of the other majors was pretty, you know, unexpected. I started the year off pretty poorly and, you know, was just hoping to keep my job by the end of the year. And then to get that win and get some status security was great. And then, you know, get a chance to tee it up with the best in the world each week has been pretty special. And unfortunately, I've played absolutely terribly since then, but nice to finally put some decent golf together so far.
Don't be so hard on yourself.
I know, that's the tough thing, man. It's like I look at your scores and I'll take that any day of the week. And we look at like a guy that finishes 30th in the U.S. Open is only like 7 strokes away from actually winning the thing. And that mentally, I think, has got to be the toughest thing. Like for you to walk out here and say your score to anybody that's actually a member here at TPC River Highlands and be like, oh, that's great shooting. But for you in your world, it's like, oh man, I'm not even close to being what I want to be.
For sure. I mean, I will say, you know, I have had a couple of good events this year, but for the most part, I've been playing some pretty poor golf. And, you know, this week's been nice. I played good at the PGA. That one felt really good to get a top 10 in a major was a nice
tied for 8
accolade. Yeah, for sure. And then, you know, I've had a lot of missed cuts. I've been at the bottom of the board a handful of times, but, you know, fortunately, we play so much golf. There's always another tournament coming the following week. And, you know, nice to just finally see some good things so far this week.
Listen, my advice, former major leaguer, you know,
a lot of failure,
world champion, a lot of failure. I was a sport built on failure. This is how you end up when you're hard on yourself. You're a lot of smoking, a lot of drinking. I don't want that for you.
Look at this.
Exactly.
Look at
this. This is the end game. So for you, dude, you're one of the best in the world.
Yeah.
Take me through, like, last year you had 3 holes in one on tour. 3 holes in one.
Awesome.
We've never had a hole in one.
Never.
Most humans are never going to have a hole in one. You had 3 in 1 year on tour. Don't be so damn hard on yourself, first of all. But what's that like? You're in the middle of the, you know, listen, you're supposed to be good. You know, what's that like, getting these hole in ones and stuff like that? How do you feel?
Yeah, it was really cool. I mean, unfortunately, I didn't really get much for the 3 hole in ones, but it was.
What are you saying?
It was
still got a hole in one
for sure. Very cool. Each one kind of had a unique story to it, which was great. And no one's ever actually made 3 in a single season, so that was a cool little accolade to get. I don't imagine it'll get broken anytime soon, but I've been very lucky. I've had 18 hole in ones in my life, so they're
18 hole in ones.
They're mostly luck. Obviously, you still got to hit a good shot, but it was funny because each one of them was like, they were all very lucky, but that's usually just how it goes.
Bang in? Did it go straight in? How were they?
Yeah, the first one was carrying a ton of pace and just kind of nailed the flagstick, and that one had a cool story because my grandpa, who was 90 years old, was following that week, and he couldn't walk the golf course because you know, he's 90, and so he got a house on the course, and it was on the green on the hole that I made the hole in one.
That is awesome.
Meant to be.
Yeah, so that was a really special deal. And then the second one was in Detroit, which is I'm going to be playing there next week, and same kind of thing. I hit it, I kind of clanked it, and the wind gusted, and it barely flew on the green. Then one hopped and flew right in the hole. So that was
Beautiful.
kind of its own lucky deal. And then the third one at the Wyndham, like it took this crazy slope. It was like 30 feet past the hole and came all the way back in and went in the hole. So I mean, they were all, you know, you got to get a little bit of fortune for the ball to find the cup, but.
Now you're a West Coast guy. You went to Pepperdine, and we
Love
know
Pepperdine.
right. What we know of Pepperdine,
Yep.
baseball powerhouse. But then all of
Yeah.
a sudden, the last couple of years, Sahis Thigala, I think Putnam, right? He's
Yep.
Pepperdine guy. And now you, like, what's going on with Pepperdine golf? You guys are kind of outshining this baseball program out there,
Right. Yeah. I mean, we got a national championship, which is pretty cool.
Nice.
For the first time in maybe 20. It was our second time ever. The last one was maybe 97, but that was pretty special for the coach and all the guys. And we've built like a pretty good program there for the last handful of years.
What's
and
your home course? Is it Malibu?
I think it used to be.
Because I lived out in Westlake for 10 years. When I was out
Okay.
there, I golfed a lot, LA Country Club and
Yeah.
Malibu, and that's a pretty tough course.
Yeah. So we never really played that. I'm pretty sure it got shut down, the Malibu Country Club that they used to play at. But we were at Sherwood, North Ranch, and Satakoy. Were kind of
Sherwood's
our
really
main
tough,
three. And
right.
Yeah, so a great setup. And then we did get to play a handful of times at LA and Riv and some of the cooler ones. But yeah, I mean, what a great place to go to school for sure.
Unreal how it's kind of turned
You
that
should have
way,
taken
man.
some of those old rich people at LA Country Club for their money, man.
Yeah.
Just
Hey,
go out,
you don't know.
"Hey, you
Maybe
guys
he
wanna
has.
play
He
a
just
little
doesn't
bit?"
want to tell us on the air. What do you think about this place?
Yeah.
Just the TPC River Highlands. Even for the practice area, we always hear pros brag about that. But the course
Yeah.
in general, 1 through 18. What do you think about it?
I think it's great. I mean, all around, it's like, I think having great fan appearances is, one of the best parts about playing on tour. And this, probably second to Waste Management, has the biggest crowds we see. And, the whole experience. The food's been great. I love the golf course. It's like, I think it's a good course where it can play easy. Like, you've seen some scores in the 50s over the years, which is crazy. But at the same time, like today, you're going to have a lot of the best players in the world shooting over par. So, a lot of risk reward, which is great. The finish is super exciting. And like Scotty's mentioned a few times, I mean, you really do get rewarded for good shots. And like on 18, I hit it in the right rough and could only hack it out like 80 yards. And there's a lot of that. But if you hit the fairway, it's a birdie hole. So I think there's a lot of variety on the golf course, which is great. And you really get rewarded for good shots and kind of punished for some bad ones.
Yeah, I was here for Furyk. Furyk got hot on the back nine, and that's what I like. What do you think about 15, 16, 17, 18? What do you think of those holes?
I think it's a perfect finish. I mean, really exciting with 15 is you can make an eagle, but you can also make a bogey pretty quickly with how that green's shaped out. And 16 with the wind like it is today, it's really hard to judge. And
Was it in your face or behind you?
It was switching like every 10 seconds, so it was pretty hard to judge. Like, I had a 9-iron out, and then it was straight down, and as I was over the ball, it kind of died. And so, like, had I hit the ball then, it would have gone in the water. So I switched to an 8, and then the wind kind of switched back into us a little bit. It was really hard to judge. Then 17 T-ball and the approach. I mean, the water is just staring you right in the face. So a great kind of little par 4 to come down there. And then 18 is kind of the same deal, where if you hit the fairway, it really is a birdie hole. But if you drive it in the rough, it's going to be hard to make a 4. So I think it's a great finish.
I feel Andy Bissett smiling when you mention the food and how much you like it, because that's all he brags.
Right.
As much as he's done around here, he's like, oh, you got to try the pizza at the pizza truck. You got to go to the Moo and Brew. What is your thing? Like, what is something that travelers put up here food-wise? They're like, man, I'm glad that I'm here and taking advantage of this.
Yeah, the pizza truck was great. I do have to say, I don't think it was quite as good as Sally's. Sally's takes the cake for me.
We have had
We'll
some
tell Andy that.
battles.
Yep.
So we had
Yeah.
Finau going Pepe's, and now we got
Yep.
Highsmith going Sally's. Wow, you better watch
Yeah, I
out.
know.
Yeah,
Fino
exactly.
like the Peppies. Yeah.
For sure. Yeah, my caddy, Joe LaCava, the fourth, he's from Southbury, so he...
I live right by Joe.
There you
Yeah.
go.
And actually,
Exactly.
his
So,
wife works in one of the places my wife's always in all the time. Love
Oh, okay,
Macau.
great. Yeah, so, I mean,
He's
He-
your caddy, huh? That's awesome.
So it's been great. He's an awesome caddy. We've had a great time together, and he's kind of a pizza snob, so he won't eat pizza on the road, and he always talks about how good it is here. And I do have to say it lived up to the hype. So the food's been great. They got like these coffee specialists inside the player dining, which is the coffee's
really?
been incredible.
Nice.
The smoothies have been really good.
They take
Pretty
care
much
of you,
everything
man.
they're serving in there has been great. And then the pizza truck was a great bonus on one of the practice days.
All right,
Awesome,
man.
man.
Well, thank you so much for giving us a few minutes, Joe.
Yeah.
Good luck. Good luck on the tour. Good luck when you go
Absolutely.
to Detroit. But hopefully you get up that leaderboard tomorrow.
For sure. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
All right, we'll take a quick break. We'll be back live. It's the Rob Dibble Show with Ben Darnell on your afternoon drive, live from the Travelers Championship.